Okay, so let's take a deep dive into something we've really been wrestling with quite a bit lately. It's this tricky art of innovation, specifically building things people don't actually know they want yet. And just a quick note, this deep dive is brought to you by Access Softtech, the premier provider of digital banking solutions. So the material for this, it's actually straight from, well, some recent thinking we put down ourselves trying to get our heads around this exact idea.
Yeah, it's a classic problem, isn't it? In almost any field, you absolutely have to listen to your audience,
Yeah.
your customers, your members, their feedback. Gold, pure gold for making things better.
Totally, for iterating.
But, and here's the rub, if all you ever do is build what they explicitly ask for based on how things are right now, you're basically just polishing the present. You're not uh, creating the future.
Right. And that's the core of it, isn't it? The difficulty. People are, well, they're brilliant at telling you what's wrong with what they currently have.
Oh, absolutely.
They can describe a faster horse, but articulating the need for, say, an automobile, that's much harder. The frame of reference, it just isn't there.
It's not there yet.
And our own thinking on this recently really kind of zeroed in on that point, relying only on those stated needs. It's essential for lots of things, yeah, but it can become this surprising barrier.
A barrier to real breakthroughs, yeah.
Yeah.
What we found really fascinating when we were digging into this was how just sticking to the requests, it gives you this sort of comfortable inertia, almost.
Verbal inertia, I like.
Yeah, it gives you a perfectly logical reason to just, dismiss an idea that feels a bit out there, a bit
Yeah.
wild or unproven.
Nobody asked for this.
Exactly. Where's the market research? Show me the data. It's easy to find very rational reasons why the really new idea isn't the right move. Not right now, anyway.
It feels safe. And, you see this tension throughout history. We talked about Fred Smith, right? Getting that infamous C grade on his paper.
Yeah, the one outlining an overnight delivery service.
Right. Because the thinking at the time was, why? Why would anyone pay extra for something the post office already does? Just, slower.
They couldn't see it.
They couldn't see that unspoken need, that unarticulated need for speed, for reliability, that was going to explode as business changed.
He saw the problem differently. He
Yeah.
wasn't just listening to requests for better postal services. He envisioned a whole new solution.
A solution nobody was asking for.
Yeah.
Because, well, they didn't think it was possible or even necessary, maybe.
Which brings us to the core question we were grappling with. How do you bridge that gap? How do you get from refining the horse to actually inventing the car?
Yeah.
And our conclusion, I think, was you have to look beyond what people explicitly say. You need to watch how they behave, understand their deeper frustrations, their workarounds.
Observe.
Observe, yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes, project where tech or society is heading.
Yeah.
Try to anticipate needs that haven't even fully formed yet.
It's like trying to make short-term science fiction practical.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, turning sci-fi into everyday reality.
And that implies, well, it implies getting comfortable with trying things out, with experimentation.
Oh, definitely.
Because not every guess about an unarticulated need, not every solution you dream up is going to hit the mark.
Not a chance.
You have to be willing to try things that might just fail. It's less about a perfect roadmap based on feedback and more about exploring potential paths, knowing some are dead ends. You need that eagerness to test the edges.
Which, when you think about partnerships, who you work with, that becomes a really crucial way to look at things.
Right.
We realized, in our writing that you want partners who don't just deliver efficiently on a spec sheet. That's table stakes.
Yeah. Important, but not enough for this.
Exactly. You need partners who show that same willingness to look past the obvious. Do they have a history of bringing genuinely new ideas forward, even if some didn't quite work out at first?
That track record, yeah. It says a lot. It speaks volumes about their ability to help you find those unarticulated needs.
Absolutely.
So, okay, bringing this back around to you listening, the real chance for significant innovation, it often lies in those places where people aren't asking for anything specific yet.
That's the key word.
It means shifting focus, not just listening to requests, but actively observing problems, seeing possibilities.
Channeling a bit of that Ford or Fred Smith spirit.
Yeah. Understanding that just because people are skeptical at first, it doesn't necessarily mean you're wrong. It might just mean you're onto something genuinely new.
Right. It requires building an environment, maybe just for yourself or maybe with your partners, that actually supports exploring those edges, not just optimizing what you already know works.
So here's a thought to maybe chew on from this deep dive. How could you start looking for those needs people don't even realize they have? Instead of just asking, what features do you want? Maybe try asking, what's the most frustrating part about how you do X? Or just watch, observe how people struggle or compensate.
Yeah.
And then, what's one tiny, maybe slightly unconventional idea you could explore this week? Something that isn't on anyone's official request list. Just explore.